Hi, Popcorn Junkies. As you know, we've been at the Sundance Film Festival in London this week, meeting a few of the filmmakers, getting to know and watch some of the films which are soon to be released on our big screens. And one of the first films that we wanted to sort of do a little profile about was a film called Brian and Charles, which is a charming film by a director called Jim Archer. And it pivots around a man, a strange, solitary man who's an inventor, not a particularly successful one, who goes about creating something unusual in that it will provide him with company, it will provide him with companionship, and it's an unlikely sort of buddy movie. And it also has this structure of having a documentary crew following him. So that's the concept. I won't give too much more away, but you'll see now in this interview that we did with Jim Archer, the director, and some of the clips from the trailer.
I never thought I'd make anything as amazing as Charles.
You built my body.
Tell us about the character of Brian. I mean, it's a classic sort of British underdog.
I mean, primarily, always our reason was to make people laugh, but David is such an amazing comic performer, but also an amazing dramatic actor. And there's so much even in all the comedy moments, there's so much there's a lot of pain there.
My name's Brian. This is my infamous inventions pantry. It's actually a cowshed. Things went a bit topsy-turvy in my life and I was very alone.
Fiddlesticks.
That's when I just started making stuff.
You have to tap into that. And but yeah, we wanted to we just wanted to make a film about kind of loneliness and the power of friendship and I guess also sort of family.
Any little idea I had, I just made. It's an egg bell, pine cone bag, flying cuckoo clock. So whenever anyone in the village wants to know the time, they can look up in the air and I'll be there.
The inventions. I was getting sort of Wallace and Gromit vibes. There was that sort of quirkiness, isn't there?
When we did the invention shed, I wanted to sort of surprise David with that. So I never showed him any of the inventions until we shot that day, because I thought it's always more fun to just improvise that stuff. And I thought I told the production department to be just make some stuff. You don't need to know what it does. Just stick an engine on a spoon or something, and then we'll get David to go into that room and try and figure out, make it up on the spot what that does and what it is. Because I think Brian trying to describe a useless invention will always be funnier.
My new project, I'm building a robot. Didn't look too bad, does he? I wonder what he'll do when I turn him on. You'd like me to give you a name?
Yeah, it's certainly not a film about AI. We're using it a bit, but it's not a commentary on that. I think it's much more about, it's more of a sort of a human and a friendship.
I really liked about the fly in the wall concept was you're always asking yourself, what crew is interested in Brian? I love that detail.
Well, yeah, but it's true. But I think as a sort of a young, when I was a young filmmaker, or even now, if you found a guy in the middle of the countryside inventing weird things, documentaries are made about much less. So and then they just happen to strike gold.
Yeah.
When our logic as well filmically was okay, it's a single camera documentary, and then when Charles turns up, that crew will be okay, guys, get in here, we've got something here.
Yeah.
So it becomes a kind of dual camera documentary after that.
I love the way it dovetailed between buddy movie to sort of slightly parental. How difficult was it for David to relate to whoever was in?
Chris, who's one of the writers, is in Charles. Yeah, all the time. I don't know if he'd want to do it again, but it's pretty. It's pretty. Yeah, it's a surprisingly heavy costume.
Yeah,
it's not actually a washing machine, but I think David loves working with Charles in a weird way. He really does believe that is Charles. I think lots of the crew do as well.
This is incredibly overwhelming.
Imagine me and you, I do.
Everyone kind of responds to him as a sort of a real character. So he loves bouncing off his blank face.
And what you want for him? Oh, he's not for sale.
It's about dreams. I thought it was quite philosophical as well. Where does the world end? What's beyond there? And so again, I think it has that added ingredient of what are we? Where are we?
Yeah, and sort of what wanderlust is, and sort of I love that line that where Charles thinks, does it all stop at the tree? It is that sort of childlike thing of oh no, there's much more beyond that.
There's a big old world out there. A big perilous world.
Oh my gosh, What was that? Perilous. So very perilous. I want to sit in the front, Brian.
No, you're not sitting in the front, you're sitting in the back.
I will sit in the front.
You'll sit in the back.
Front.
Stop saying front.
Front.
The moment where Brian's looking at the sheep and the lambs and he's looking for that connection.
That specific scene was a reshoot, was a pickup day, because we felt like we had the story, but we're like, we needed one extra reason why Brian is building Charles. Like we sort of knew, but we needed some kind of influence. So like the sheep and the lamb was like perfect.
I'm not a child. I can look after myself, man.
What's got into you? I tend to learn from each thing that I build. Bullseye!
I am your friend, Brian.
I desperately want to know what happens on his journey around the world.
Well, maybe, if people go and see the film, then maybe we can make another.
I'm your friend too.